Good evening, Darkness Live Tribe. How's everyone doing?
Good. Good. It's, it's winter solstice.
Yes, it is. It's the solstice. It's the first day of Yule. It's a lot of things. The planets are in alignment tonight.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
excuse me.
I'll forgive you. But yeah, all kinds of wild stuff happening. And Happy Yule. Happy Yule.
Happy Yule.
I know, right? I'm pretty excited about it. But, yeah. I actually talked to somebody today. I was like, are you going to do anything? She's like, I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Hey, Michelle.
So, yeah,
No sound.
Huh?
No sound.
No sound?
Lena said no sound.
Oh, okay. She said, oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, but anyways, so it's first day of Yule, and I'm pretty excited about that, like I said, because,
yeah.
I mean, it's a good time of the year.
Yeah.
Very good time of the year.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, for anybody watching who is not familiar with Yule, Jeremiah, you want to explain?
Well, it is...
Yuletide greetings. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, Yule is the old pagan festival of the midwinter, or it starts on the winter solstice, which is the
First day.
It's first day of Yule, but it's also the longest night of the year. And it signifies that from here on out, the days get longer, the planet starts to warm up and come back to life, and we got the green of spring to look forward to, and so yeah,
Yes.
it's kind of a celebration in the
Isn't it also
the hardest part of the year, looking forward to the warmer days.
Isn't it kind of also a little bit of a reflection time?
Yeah. I mean,
reflection on the past
year. You look back at the past year and, think about things that you can do better, do different, different decisions you can make and stuff like that.
Yes.
There's a lot to it.
Do you have a favorite Sabbath?
What?
Do you have a favorite Sabbath?
It's kind of I've got three that I really, really, really enjoy.
Can I guess them?
Yeah, well, you can try.
Can I guess them?
You can try.
I feel like Mabon, Samhain, and it's either Letha or Linacid. Which one? Or am I way wrong?
You're way wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
Is Imbolc one of them?
Huh?
Is Imbolc one of them?
No.
Astara?
One of them.
Beltane? Don't say Beltane.
No.
Okay.
You have a way skewed idea of Beltane. You really do.
I do.
You read that one thing about it, and it has ruined your perception of Beltane forever.
It has. I know it has. I know, but hey. Well, does that surprise you, though? Like, that can't surprise you. That one little thing just completely shot it for me. Right? So what are your three? Okay, so is any of the ones I guessed correct?
Two of the later ones.
Mabon and Samhain?
No.
Yule?
Yule. If I had to pick a favorite, it would probably be Yule.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me. Hey, John.
Second favorite would probably be Lunacid.
See, and I was like, Letha or Lunacid? Which one? Lunacid? Okay.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, beyond that, it would be kind of a toss-up between Ostara and Samhain. So.
Okay.
This tends to be a very spiritual time of the year for me. Mm-hmm. It always has been, just because, I don't know, it's almost like a natural cycle to me. I get very, very self-reflective this time of the year.
Yeah.
And there's usually a lot of growth, and it's not always pleasant that happens this time of the year.
Well, this time last year was when things really started to kick my ass. Do you remember? Yeah, things really started to kick my ass. All that shadow work
Yeah.
and everything. So, yeah. But it is Yule.
Yes, it
It
is.
is Yule time. Yuletide greetings.
Yep.
Anyways, so yeah, so I hope everybody has a really, really good holiday coming up and have all of your things wrapped and things hung up on the wall and outside. We didn't do anything outside of our house.
No.
You know, I think it's because this is the first time we've actually lived somewhere where we could.
Well, yeah, we're not really prepared for it. I mean, we don't have any exterior, a whole lot of exterior decorations.
Are you going to turn into Clark Griswold?
No, probably not. Although that would be cool. It would be fun to annoy the hell out of the neighbors, but
I don't think our neighbors would get annoyed, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
they'd be cheering us on. Yeah,
they're more
that's awesome.
they're more redneck than we are, so it's okay.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, so yeah, well, let's get our guest on because let's just get her on.
So our guest for the night is the amazing, wonderful, good friend of ours, Dr. Lena Townsend. She has been a good friend and a mentor to me for a long time.
And now me for 4 years. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's really Saturday Lena and I were kind of touching on that about, I can't believe it's been 4 years. Like, what? But yeah, so that's exciting.
She is able to provide the most amazing insight into things, and she, even her and I differ on a lot of different things. She is not judgy at all.
Mm-mm.
But
you're not judgy.
No, I'm not either. But we're not talking about me. We're talking about her. So, she has wisdom that is otherworldly, and her readings and intuition are simply amazing. So, let's.
I've never, ever, not one time, ever heard anybody who got a reading from her that it wasn't spot on and things came to pass that, like she said they would.
Yeah.
Even time frame.
Yeah.
I mean, she always amazes me.
Yeah.
She's just so amazing.
All right, so we'll go ahead and dial her up here. Maybe. Ow.
Ow. Yeah. Ow.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
You are live with us. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing good.
We're good. I'm excited for the long weekend coming up.
So can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hold on just a second. I'm trying to get rid of this thing off my phone.
Oh. Gotcha.
It's kind of being weird. My phone is going a little crazy right now.
Yeah, you literally went from my right ear to my left ear.
I think that's all right here, though, I think.
I think you're right.
Okay, so you can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I can't watch while I'm talking to you, so I had to shut you off.
Oh, gotcha. So what's going on?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're good. We're just hanging out, and let me shut that sound down. Yeah, we're just kind of hanging out and, well, talking to you now, so.
It's definitely a Monday.
I gotta be real. I really, really missed you Jeremiah, on Friday. We all missed you very much.
Yep. I was very off. Lena can attest to that. I was very off.
I know, and I do apologize for that, guys. I tried.
I know you did.
I don't know what happened with my. I had put in a request to have that day off, and I don't know if it got lost or whatever. My supervisor never got it, and I never thought anything of it. So then I wasn't able to find. I tried down to the very last minute. I wasn't able to find anyone to trade with me. So
that's okay. We made it through.
Yeah, we made it through. But just know you're loved and missed when you're not there.
Very much.
Well, I appreciate that.
Very much.
So I missed, it was kind of fun to get to, watch you guys instead of, watch you from an outsider perspective rather than, being right here in the middle of the action. That was kind of fun, what little I was able to do it.
That's something I did never ask you of what you thought of it from watching it like a viewer versus being part of it.
It was good. You guys did a great job. Aside from a few technical difficulties, that it was my fault because I didn't have the sound system set up quite properly. But outside of that, it was really good, and we had it was very, very enjoyable. I thought.
Good.
So you guys did awesome.
Why, thank you.
Well, and you want a free reading, Jeremiah, so we're going to have to figure out a time for you to get that done.
Yes. We got to get that set up. I'm looking forward to that.
That's awesome. Yeah, everybody who won free readings. That's awesome.
I wanted to give you the dates, Jeremiah, so you can start working on being there, because I'm pretty sure that's not your normal weekend off, but I'm going to be back in that area February 27th and 28th, doing readings in Wichita.
Okay, well, let me see here.
Hi, Carl. The good captain.
So maybe we can get together the night of the 26th. It's a Friday.
We could make that happen.
Yeah, as long as, I should be able, that's plenty of notice, so I can, I should be able to, because that would be a regular night for me to work, so I can make sure I can get my request in for that day off. So yeah,
that'll be good.
Yeah, because I would love to do it again. I had a blast, and I look forward to getting to hang out with everybody again.
Aww.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I have no doubt. All of the people that you got to read for, it was probably incredible for them and you.
Well, we're hoping to continue growing in the area so that we can, get back there a little more often. And
I'm not going to complain about that.
I think everybody enjoyed their readings. At least I haven't had any complaints so far.
Oh, I doubt you will. I know a lot of people that have been looking forward to getting you down here, for a long time. So yeah, absolutely. So what's been going on? I guess it's only been a few days since you've been here, but what's new?
Well, I am coming back there in February. I'm also going to be adding some new. I'm sorry for the dogs.
Oh, it's all good.
That's the neighbor's dog. I'm going to be adding some new readings after the new year to my list. So some new things coming up there, and I'm going to be working on some new classes.
Very cool.
Speaking of classes, man, I'm getting excited about our class.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait, Lena.
Yeah, we need to get together and figure out some dates for that.
Yes, we
do. Get started.
Yes, we do. Yeah, I'm really, really looking. I feel like this is kind of like we talked kind of at the precipice of things, and I feel like this is kind of the next step for me. Is with this journey is getting through this class with you guys. It'll be good.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna learn
I'm
a
excited
lot.
for you.
Do what?
I'm excited for you to do it because I know you're ready to take that kind of next step and really get into the practicing of like doing it as a routine and really figuring out what areas like of the psychic realm that you want to fit in best or what fit you best, where
Right.
your skills work best,
And it
that
probably
type of thing.
isn't
So I'm
it,
very excited.
it probably isn't always what you think it's going to be, is it?
Yeah, a lot of times it turns out to be something totally different.
Well, it'll be good, man. It'll be, yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
So I've been thinking about all the different things that people ask me, the different questions people ask me, and a lot of people will ask, if readings by phone are the same as in person.
Okay.
And I wanted you guys to know they really are the same, especially now since we've had COVID. Because it used to be that I would let people shuffle the cards physically, but now with COVID, we're not, able to do that because we don't want every single person touching the cards.
Right.
And so, really, exactly the same. Basically, I have them talk to me for a minute so I can hear their voice to make a really good energy connection. And I shuffle the cards while they talk. And that way I'm kind of connecting to their energy and putting their energy into the cards. And then once I lay the cards out, if I'm doing it by phone, I'll take a picture of the cards so that they can actually, I can send it to them and they can see the cards while we're doing the reading. And during the reading, I will try to kind of explain what the cards mean and what I'm getting intuitively and that type of thing. And it really, a lot of times, is even a better reading than the in-person readings. Not to say that in-person isn't awesome, but when they're more comfortable, the more relaxed and more comfortable they are, the better the reading is. And so I kind of wanted to talk tonight a little bit about some of the tips maybe that would help people have better readings.
Ooh, yes.
Because I feel like a lot of people, they kind of get stressed or they try to block or they try to test us because they don't believe what we do. And
Right.
You'll make them a believer.
well, and I think when they block like that or they're trying to test, a lot of times they're not getting as much information as they could. It's not that the information isn't pretty accurate most of the time. It's just that they're not getting as much. And I feel like it's really hard on the reader too, because the reader has to kind of break through that barrier to make that energy connection.
Right.
So a couple of suggestions, and you probably can relate to that, Jeremiah, can't you?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I have. I'd have to say when I was reading at fairs and stuff, I probably anywhere from 30 to maybe even as much as 50% of the new clients that I had that would come get a reading from me at fairs would they would be doing just that. They would have some sort of a block or a wall up or something trying to throw me off because they and I kind of get the mindset. You want to test the waters. You want to make sure a person is, you want to vet a person, so to speak. But, at the same time, it really is kind of a waste because they could get so much more out of it if they would be more open to the energy and more open to receiving what Spirit has to offer.
right, exactly. So one of my suggestions was, to some of my clients is it's great to be a skeptic. It's really important to, research your readers and things like that because you really want someone who's going to be a good fit for you too. And, it's good to have a reputable reader,
Mm-hmm.
but when you go in to have a reading, even if you're a skeptic, try to go in with an open mind. Be an open book. Let them read you. Most really good readers or, actual readers,
Mm-hmm.
they're not looking for what you look like or what you're wearing, and they're not looking you up. Most of us don't even know your name. Maybe your first name, and you could be lying about that for all we know.
Right.
Because we don't read them. We're not going in to read that. So one of the things that I suggested was just going in open-minded and just really letting yourself be read. And then some other things that can kind of enhance the reading, especially if you're going in to have like a spiritual reading and you want a medium type reading where you're wanting them to talk to your loved ones in spirit.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few things you can do to kind of help those loved ones come through. Like the 24 hours before your reading, go ahead and focus on that person. Really focus on your memories with them, what you wanted to ask them. Maybe write down the questions that you might have for them, and just kind of visualize them as much as you can. That sometimes helps attract them to you so that they will come through. You know, because most readers don't summon, and, you know, we don't want to bring in negative spirits, so we just talk to the ones who come through.
Right.
And so if you're really focused on them, that helps them know that you want to talk to them, and it helps them come forward.
Right.
You can also ask them out loud, hey, can you come see me? I've got a lot of clients who will flat out tell their loved one, hey, I'm going to have a reading with Lena, come see me, you know, and it works for them.
Man, and that's something so simple that like I wouldn't have thought of. Like I wouldn't have thought of that.
Right, and it really does help. And another thing that can help is maybe having an object or something that belongs to them that you can hold on to while you're getting your reading. You know, like if they had a special ring or a keychain or something that they carried with them often. Some people it's a special shirt or a hat. Just something that really meant something special to them or to you and them. That way you can kind of have that in your hand, and that energy is, you know, energy connection to them, so that helps them come through a little easier. I don't have to touch it. I don't have to feel it. But if you're holding it, then a lot of times that helps them come forward for you.
Okay.
Another thing that I suggested to some of my clients is, you know, if you're really nervous, sometimes that can put up a little block. So try to relax, maybe do a little meditation or a spiritual bath before you come. Just being real clean of perfumes, oils, those types of things, not having any of that on your body also opens up your energy a little better, so we can connect to your energy. So, you know, things like maybe taking a good shower, dressing in light clothing, something that you feel comfortable and relaxed, whatever makes you feel really good. Because the more relaxed a person is, the better the reading's going to be.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
You know, I think...
Miss you too, Max.
I think, you know, some of the... Just from talking to people and everything, I think some of the reason that maybe people, you know, kind of, you know, put up those initial walls like we were talking about earlier would be because they, you know, especially if it's like their first time ever getting a reading, you know, a lot of times they may be, if it's a totally new world for them, they may...
Hi, Tiffany.
It seems to me oftentimes they may have kind of a fear of it, like they're doing something wrong, or they're, you know, putting themselves in a place of vulnerability that's going to end up harming them, you know, that type of thing. Right. What would you say to someone like that?
Well, honestly, a lot of them, you know, especially people who were raised with a very strong Christian background, we were told, you know, over and over and over again, these things are wrong. It's wrong to do this. And so, you know, a lot of them are going to come in with that insecurity and that fear. But the fact is, like I said, I don't summon. I don't do any spell work of any kind to help bring spirits through or to do the reading. The cards that I use, really, they're just more of a prop because honestly, I can read with anything. I don't even have to have an object to read someone.
Do you feel, Lena, do you feel like it maybe would freak people out? The thought that you don't even, you know what I mean? Like, do you think that it would freak out your clients for you to be like, hey, so blah, blah, blah. You don't even need the cards.
Right. To some degree, it does kind of wig people out if you just can read them without anything. So I don't really, I don't really just walk up to people and start reading. Usually I let them come to me because I try to not read anyone without their permission. I don't like to read other people for, like a person who comes to me and says, hey, can you read what my boyfriend's thinking? I'm probably not going to help them much where that's concerned, because I try not to read people without their permission.
Yeah.
And, when it comes to, being afraid of what we have, like the cards or, reading with coins, those types of things, those things are there so that they kind of keep us on track, like with my cards. It lets you see what I kind of see in my head, because the images on the cards kind of project what I'm picking up on. And they also keep me from, talking for 5 hours, because obviously I'm very good at that. But, it just kind of gives them, the option to stop me in the middle and me to be able to come back, if they have, like a question, I can answer their question and then come back to where I left off. Without the cards, I would get so far off track, because when I'm in that zone, I'm in that zone, and I could talk to you for hours and hours and hours and hours about what I'm getting.
Right. Yeah. I completely I can completely vouch for that. That's a real
I don't
thing.
know how many times I've said, like, oh, I'm going to do a 30-minute reading, and then I look up and it's 2 hours later, and I'm like, oops, sorry, I kept you so long.
So it was that was kind of the thing when I was reading at fairs, and of course we always had the vendor booth set up. I was either reading out of the vendor booth or nearby it. And
the downside to fairs is the fact that the people who run the fairs, they give you the timesheet thing, and they want you, to sign up, like people sign up or whatever. So, if you go over on one reading, it puts them all,
Right.
behind. And so, so I'd be like over there being like, Jeremiah.
Stephanie was always kind of my gatekeeper for that. She had to keep me on track, because I'm exactly the same way. I get lost in that reading, and I can very easily turn a 30-minute reading into an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe more.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why, that's why Dave really started being there so much for mine, is because he, first of all, he's my money man. So he handles all the money. Like, he will sign people in and that type of thing, because it gives me more time with the client.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he'll kind of flag me when I'm getting close to that time. It's like, you got like 5 minutes left, and flash those 5 fingers at me, and I'm like, okay, I know that means I better start wrapping this up.
Yeah, it's true. And
it's like, oh, we're just getting to the good parts.
Yes.
Come on.
and it's not like you guys are trying to, jip anybody out of part of the reading. It's just that there's just so, with the readings, there's so much to convey that it just goes by so fast, and you can't get it all out. And, and then you don't want to make, hi, Claire, you don't want to make, the other people wait. And so when it comes to fair readings, it's a little more structured, I feel, than, just, not.
Right. I noticed that when I'm at fairs, I have to talk really fast.
Yeah.
To fit everything in, because, with my readings too, it's not just, okay, I'm going to read you the basic general tarot here. I include a little bit of channeling with mine if it comes up. And, I offer suggestions with things like, what might be helpful to clear your energy or to help you rest better, things that my guide tells me. And so a lot of times that channeling aspect of it comes in, and that kind of takes some of the time.
Right.
So, I try to keep on track as much as I can, but if it's someone who's really needing a lot of extra and we're doing a fair, a lot of times I'll tell them, I only have this much time at the fair, but I would love to read, more for you later. I do offer longer readings by phone. And it's not because I'm trying to get them to spend more money. It's just they have so much, and we just can't cover everything in that short amount of time.
Right. Exactly. And, that's, honestly, and don't get me wrong, because I loved reading at fairs, but it was very, it was difficult actually for me, because with the nature of my readings, we so oftentimes get into what I call shadow work, what you call soul work, and it is
right.
Hi, Ben.
That is, I don't care how minimal the topic is, it is hard to cover in a simple 30-minute reading.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was probably my single biggest struggle with reading at fairs was, to keep things and oftentimes, I'll be honest, I fell flat on my face. I failed miserably at keeping them compacted to 30-minute readings most of the time.
Yeah.
So.
You did pretty good though. I think you did fairly well with it over the course of the the year or whatever. But yeah, it is hard. I can't imagine.
But yeah.
Well, and another thing I suggest for fairs, if people really want that extra time to come in and pay the extra 30 minutes and have that full hour, but they need to sign up for both of those times.
Right.
They need to make sure they put their name in both slots, not
right.
just like your name and then leave a slot blank. You actually need to put your name in both slots because,
right.
And you need to come in and sign up early because readers' lists fill up so quickly at the fairs.
Right.
They really do.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
I mean, my last... at the last fair we did in July, the in-person fair, this is not even a joke. I got there, and within an hour and a half, my list was full for the entire day, clear up till 8 in the evening.
Wow.
And so it really is something, to make sure that you sign up as early as possible and be willing to wait, because readers really want to read for you. We're not trying to... make people wait, but we have to be fair. If you're on the list, and if you decide that you can't stay or something comes up where you can't stay, go erase your name off that list so someone else can fill in. Because people do want readings, and if the list is full, they can't sign up. And a lot of times they miss the opportunity.
Right.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I think you and I need to sit down and do a 10 list video.
That would be amazing.
A list of 10 things that if you want to get a reading from someone at a fair,
to make the most out of it.
A list of 10 things to do or not do or something like that. I think we could. I think we could put together a hell of a video. Psychic
Fairs 101.
Absolutely. And the other thing is most of the readers out there who are, who are legit readers, they're not going to tell you, hey, we're going to help you remove this curse for this amount of money. If you come across a reader who's telling you that, you probably need to find another reader.
Yeah.
If they're saying, hey, if you give me, $2,000, I'm going to remove this curse for you, they're probably not legit.
Right.
Most reputable readers who really are legit, if they see something nasty attached to you or something bad, they're going to tell you tips and ways that you might be able to, get that energy away from you or to protect yourself from that energy.
Right.
And, most of them will have really good suggestions.
Yeah.
And then there's always the paranormal teams that can come in and help with paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
If most good readers have connections to someone who works in the paranormal field, or they know someone else in the metaphysical field that works with someone in the paranormal field. So, if you talk to them and tell them what you have going on, most of the time we can find someone who can help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and the
exactly.
same with classes. Don't be afraid to talk to your reader about learning and growing in this field, or just studying things in this field, because most of us either teach classes or know someone who does. And if we don't teach the class that you're looking for, we probably know someone who does.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
That's one of the most amazing things to me about the metaphysical field is that it's very much, I feel like, yes, you do make money, but I feel like at everybody's core, they genuinely want the person coming there needing help to get the help that they need. And so if you don't feel like you can provide it, you're not just going to be like, oh, I'm going to do it anyways. You'll be like, hey, you know what? I don't think I'm the right reader for you, but so-and-so over there, they probably can help you with this.
Right.
Like that's huge.
Absolutely.
And the networking is incredible.
Yeah.
The networking is unbelievable. Right. It's like I have more friends that I never see that I just, keep in contact with, via the phone, versus actual friends that I see. You know what I mean? Like, but I think that's because ever since I can remember when I was little, I've always kept a pretty small group of really good friends. But what's blown my mind is the amount of people that I've met because of the fairs and everything that I genuinely say, like, man, these people are our friends. Like, they're amazing. I feel like I could call them at any time and be like, oh my gosh, hey, you know what I mean? And that's rare. You don't find that, Well,
and I'll be real with you, like most of the real, readers or the people who love what they do, like me, I love what I do. I wish I could do it for free, but because I do it all the time and it takes up all of our time and we travel for it, we have to charge for it.
Right.
A lot of people, get frustrated. It's a spiritual thing. You shouldn't charge for it. Well, we got to eat just like everybody else. We got to have a house just like everybody else.
Exactly. You got bills to pay.
Yeah. I mean,
I would be absolutely cool if somebody wanted to come and pay all my bills and pay for my house. I'm good with that.
Right.
But I doubt that's going to happen,
Yeah.
Did you ever get a lottery ticket?
I never did buy one. Darn it.
Did you, Jeremiah?
No, I didn't. I was going to this morning, but I was too tired. All I wanted to do was get in bed.
Whatever. You totally forgot. He totally forgot. Don't let him fool you. He totally forgot.
No, I did. I actually,
really?
I even looked for the kiosk this morning at Quick Trip when I got gas, but I said to hell with it. I mean, I've got 2 days. I'm going home to bed.
Okay.
So I was tired.
Well, see, Lena, maybe it wasn't meant to happen yet, right? Right. So we'll see what happens.
Right.
So, but I one of my biggest pet peeves is I see it, because I'm in a lot of different like metaphysical, psychic, pagan, witchy type Facebook groups. And I see someone get in one of those groups and go on a rant about people that charge for readings, and it's just like, what are you talking about? Okay, so you do your readings for free, great. Not all of us have that luxury. Do you pay a mechanic to work on your car?
Right. That's a good analogy. That's a really, really good point. Really, really good point. It's well, and if we have car problems, we have to pay a mechanic.
Exactly.
If we have health problems, we have to pay a doctor. And somewhere somebody's got to make some money, because I drive around and do this, and I read by phone, but my husband takes me where I need to go. When I'm reading by phone, he's cooking dinner and cleaning house, and bless his heart, I couldn't do any of this without him. And it gives me an opportunity to help others, but at the same time, we've got all the same expenses that everybody else has.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And trust me, our taxes went up on our house. It's like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Funny how that always happens, but that's a whole other subject altogether. So
it is. And, but the thing is, like, I wish that we could, do it for free. But I'll be real with you. I'm not above bartering. I've had people cut my hair for a reading, or, maybe, which I probably could use actually. Hint, hint. Um, but also I've had, people who, did things for me, like, maybe they brought me butter or toilet paper. Toilet
Right.
paper's like gold these days.
I know, right? Right. Again.
Hey, anybody, don't be afraid to ask me, because I'm willing to barter. I mean, that
Right.
is not an issue for me. If you
Right.
can't afford your food and you really feel like you need one, work with me. That's all I ask.
Yeah, I've done the same thing. It seems like at the end of almost every fair I ever went to, that the last couple or three slots on Sunday evening was,
Readers
me,
trading readings.
bartering with other readers or other
Yep.
vendors for products for readings, so on and so forth. So it happens.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of times like I've had readings like where I switched with someone, or maybe a friend of mine needed a reading really bad, and I had another reader say, "Yeah, I'll read them for you," because I sent them to them, and I thought that the person could use a reading from someone other than me for a
Right.
change, and so I sent them to this other reader, basically because they needed validation or whatever, and the other reader would later be like, "Well, instead of you paying me, Lena, why don't you just do a reading for me?" I'm like, "Okay, I can do that." you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it helps, it helps my friend, or it helps me, or it helps someone. That's all that matters to me,
Right.
Right.
If it helps, the other reader, that's important too. And I know, I try to shop local in my local community. And also when I go to other places, I try to shop small business, because I know those people are working hard, and they don't get the big kickbacks and all that. And so in order to make their business successful, it's important for us to, support them.
Right.
And
Especially
they usually support us
nowadays.
too.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And most of the time they support us too, and so it's really, really important.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I was
So
just
another tip for really successful readings is to, have your questions kind of prepared, kind of have an idea of what you want to know about. And if you have questions for the reader, like, how does this work? What are you going to do? How many cards are you going to lay out? Whatever, be sure to ask them when you're signing up, or you're doing the scheduling, or, even in between, just message and say, hey, so how does this exactly work?
right.
Because I can see on the website it says this, but what are you going to do exactly? Or, just have those questions kind of ahead of time and prepared. If you know you're specifically wanting to know about, your work situation, ask your reader, because the reader's not going to just randomly give you the answer you're looking for. They're going to give you the answer that comes up in their cards or from their spirit guide.
Right.
So the question isn't going to change the view. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yes.
It just helps us direct the focus of the reading, and that's really important, because if you don't really care to know about your love life, but you want to know about your career, if all we talk about is your love life, it's probably not going to be very good for you.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Jeremiah, go ahead. Go ahead, Lena.
Most readers, sorry.
No,
most
you go
readers
ahead.
hate talking about love life, by the way.
What? Say that again.
Most readers hate talking about the love life.
Oh.
Oh, I bet that's a.
Yep.
I bet that subject gets old real quick. Real quick.
Well, and there's a reason, and it's not that we don't believe that people, need to have that information, because we do. But a lot of times people will call up and want us to read their partner or their friend or the person that they're interested in.
That's a no-no.
And then they want us to tell them how to catch them. It's like, how do I catch this guy? And I'm like, no, sorry, that's not my job.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell you that your guy is, thinking about you 24/7, or, encourage you to be obsessed over them. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you what's best for your spiritual path, because that's what I do.
Right.
So, hopefully I'm not scaring off half of my clients right now, but to be honest,
but that's something that people need to hear, because I mean, at the risk of getting into a different conversation, just on that topic alone, it's like we have to tread carefully, because I don't know about you, but when you when I do a reading and stuff like that, stuff pertaining to a love life comes through,
Hi, Michael.
it is. I'm sorry, I'm struggling with my words here. It's kind of it's a difficult topic to broach, number one, because a lot of times, for me anyway, especially dealing with the more shadow work type readings that mine tend to be, it oftentimes gets very uncomfortable, number one. So that makes it a difficult subject to broach to start with. But then it's when it gets over into that kind of stuff that you were talking about, like well, how do I catch this person's eye, or how do I make myself more attractive to them, or anything like that. It's like, okay, we're missing what the focus needs to be here, and having to when someone's focus is in that area, and you're having to try to rein them back into what the focus should be, which is their own spiritual path, which is going to put them on the best foundation to have a successful love life. Then
True story.
That gets sometimes very difficult very quick.
Well, and
right. And go ahead.
Oh,
I'm
no,
sorry.
you go ahead. Go ahead, Lena.
Well, I was just going to say, the other thing we have to keep in mind is that every person has free will. And, if you're, trying to force someone to love you against their will, you're probably not going to end up with the relationship you're hoping for.
Right.
Remember,
right. It's like that. There's a meme that floated around here a while back in some of the groups that we're in. It talks about
a good marriage never started out with a kidnapping.
Yeah, when a new witch asks information about a love spell, it's like, and it's got this picture of this guy sitting there trying to figure out how to answer tactfully. And at the bottom it says, "Well, a good marriage never started with a kidnapping."
So one of the things that I tell a lot of my clients, if they're really a single client specifically, if they're really wanting to attract love into their life and they're wanting to attract the right one, there's a few things that you can do, but you can't focus it on someone specific.
Right.
When you focus it on someone specific, you're taking away their free will.
Right.
So then it becomes spell work, and you don't want to do spell work to bring in your love. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so
man.
A couple of things I suggest is things like, light a pink candle, and on the side of it write love. Pink is for, unconditional love, pure love.
Mm-hmm.
And if you light that candle on a Friday night with the intention of attracting the right love into your life, and you do a little prayer, or you do, the energy work to show spirit that you really want to put something into the relationship, like, for example, write down the list of qualities of the person you want. What are they like? Are they honest? Are they faithful? Are they going to be committed and partner with you? Are they going to be helpful? Are they resourceful? Whatever your qualities are that you're looking for. And then on the other side of the paper, write all the qualities that you're willing to give to the relationship. What are you willing to put in?
I love
because that lets spirit know really that you're willing to do the work to make the relationship work.
Right.
it's all about intention. And if you're doing it in a positive way, you're more likely to find exactly what you're looking for because you're going to learn to love yourself in the process.
Right, exactly, and I think that's the probably the biggest key that a lot of people are missing nowadays is that aspect of self love.
Oh, I have to
Right.
add. I have to say something, Lena. So this is interesting. So one of the very first things when Jeremiah and I, before we got together, so to speak, and we were just talking and stuff, one of the first things was I said, "You know why this will work? Do you remember what? Do you remember what I said? I said it's because I'll always appreciate you, and you'll never take me for granted. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And that to this day, I feel that's true.
Yeah.
Still true. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a beautiful thing because, it's a reminder, that if you appreciate him, he's also going to appreciate you.
Yeah.
It's so important. And I suck at love lives. I'm going to be real with you. I've been married 4 times. Come on, Obviously, I'm not perfect at it, but I also have learned a lot by seeing other people's relationships through the readings and seeing what other people go through. And I'll be real. I've learned a lot from my clients about how to be in my relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of it's good.
Right.
Well, that's life. I mean, that's part of life, though. I mean, not everything is, rainbows and butterflies and rabbits and,
Well, I'm going to be real with you. I can be a selfish, nagging, whiny woman sometimes. But other times, other times I'm very loving and, I can be a really good person.
Hey, I want to ask you a question. I know that you guys hate, discussing, the love life of readings, but I have a question. Actually, I have a question for both of you. So I'll ask Lena first. So, Lena, do you feel like so like, let's say you're going about your life or whatever, and let's say you're in a relationship or you're not in a relationship. Do you think that there is somebody out there for everybody? Let me elaborate a little bit. So, like, if that person comes into your life, it's almost like you're drawn to them to the point that you just have this wake up moment like, oh my God, that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
I do believe in the soulmate connection, but I believe we can have many soulmates. Mm-hmm. I also believe in the twin flame connection, but I believe the twin flame also challenges us to be our best self, and so sometimes that is a hard connection to have.
It is very hard.
Yeah, it actually makes you crazy sometimes, or it makes you feel like you're crazy.
Yes.
But I do believe that we're all meant to have someone, and even if we don't have a long-term, committed, lifetime relationship with them, we should love as often as possible and as fully as possible. And I think that that's what, most faiths preach that, most belief systems include that. It is a gentle and tender part of who we are, mm-hmm. but it's also a strong and powerful part of who we are. And the more we do with the intention of love, the stronger it is. Or at least that's my belief.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And passion, when you truly love and are passionate about what you do or who you're mm-hmm. with, it's always going to be better. It's not going to feel like work. It's not going to be hard.
God, that's
because
so
you're
true.
going to love what you do, even
mm-hmm.
if it's hard. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of on topic of what you just said, I have pretty recently realized with my life, I really am a very passionate person. Like, when it comes to most things in my life, like, I'm a very passionate person because if it's, okay. Hey, sorry, Lena, somebody has a question real quick. Are you laughing at me?
I am laughing at you because you're a Sagittarius and you're telling me you're passionate, and I was thinking about our conversation on Friday night.
I don't think anyone would have ever guessed that about you.
Well, I didn't guess it about myself. And maybe that's the Capricorn moon in there, you know. It's got to be, right? But really and truly, like, I never really realized how much of a passionate person I am with every aspect of my life, you know. But that's kind of a cool thing, though. Like, I won't lie, like, I'm pretty proud of that. So somebody has a question for you. What's the difference between twin flame and soulmate?
Okay, so a twin flame kind of mirrors you. They complete you because they mirror everything about you. A lot of times those people will have the same challenges in their life, or they'll go through the same challenges you've went through. And they really make it hard because they really push us to the limit. When they come into your life, it's like this huge wow, you know? And at the same time, it quickly can burn out, you know? It can quickly burn out between the two of you because you get so wrapped up in it. And sometimes people leave the rest of the world behind because they get so caught in this relationship. But they're always someone who makes you want to be a better person. They really make you want to be a better person. Now, a soulmate is someone you have a spiritual connection with. It's not necessarily someone you have a romance with. And most of the time, twin flames are very romantic because the passion is there, you know. But with soulmates, you know, anybody can be your soulmate. Stephanie, you're like a soulmate, you know.
Oh, yeah.
We have this like sisterly bond from somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and
yes,
you can feel that spiritual connection. So that's how I view it. Now, there may be others who see it very different, but that's the experience that I've always had.
Right.
And, you know, you can think someone's your twin flame only to find out later that maybe that wasn't really your twin flame after all. Mm-hmm. Maybe you were just staring your twin flame right in the face. Twin flames can be very, very passionate and volatile. That includes rage and anger and fighting and, you know, difficulties. But it doesn't mean it has to be that way.
Right.
You can learn to love each other despite the hard times, despite the difficulties.
You know, one of the
challenges.
The biggest thing that I found personally about being in a twin flame relationship is keeping yourself in a mindset to learn, because that I will tell you firsthand, you know, because Stephanie and I are twin flames. There's no doubt about that. But I will tell you firsthand, this relationship has been it's been the absolutely most amazing relationship I've ever had. But it has also been, on a lot of levels, one of the most difficult relationships I ever had, because I get so sick and tired of looking at myself in the mirror.
Well, and on that note,
Exactly.
on that note, you know,
we are the hardest person to live with, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to deal with yourself. Like, my husband, bless his heart, he makes me so mad sometimes because he is me, different, you know, and it's like, you know, but, you know, at the same time, he makes me laugh and he makes me smile, and he's driving me crazy right now. And, you know, he's just, you know, he's good to me, and I'm good to him, but sometimes we forget to see that. Sometimes we forget to.
I gotta add something.
Exactly.
I gotta add something before I forget it.
Let me finish my thought right quick. So,
Okay.
but you know, keeping yourself in that mindset to learn from the relationship, and let the relationship help you grow as a person, I think, is one of the keys to being in a successful twin flame relationship. Because I think you're absolutely right. Because, you know, you know, a twin flame relationship, well, like all relationships go through cycles, but a twin flame relationship is so intensified with those cycles. And if you delve too much into that initial romance, passionate, you know, honeymoon part, but then if you burn all of your energy up there and don't allow it to graduate into the what I think is the really cool part of the personal growth, and not only the personal growth but helping the other grow and growing together in all aspects of that. And it's crazy, and it's mind numbing, and it's
Never saw it
enraging
coming.
sometimes.
Never saw it coming either.
But
Jeez.
it's absolutely well, like I said a while ago, it's the most amazing experience I've had in this lifetime.
Well, thank you.
So
I gotta say this before I forget, Lena. Okay, so another point on the twin flame versus soulmates is, yeah, you can have multiple soulmates, and like you said, they don't necessarily have to be romantic. A soulmate is put in your life to help you learn a lesson or help you grow, and vice versa, to help them grow or learn a lesson. Really important lessons too. And sometimes after, that has been accomplished, that relationship might kind of fade away because it's served its purpose. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And with a twin flame relationship, that really is a well, I believe that's a one of a kind relationship. You can't have multiple twin flames, and I personally believe that. I also believe that one of the reasons that so many twin flame relationships, if somebody finds it, fails, is because your twin flame is going to not physically force you, but it's going to force you to purge your baggage and work through your issues. And a lot of people don't want to do that because looking at your own self, like you said, is awful. It's so hard. It's because that other person, your counterpart there, your mirror image, is, in order for you guys to grow together. Uh-oh, did we lose her? Well, I'll keep talking for a minute. In order for you guys to grow together, you're going to have to put the past behind you and work through issues and everything for you to be able to grow together and be the best person you can be. And I do feel...
I'm going to call her back here.
We lost her. Oh, she's watching. Maybe her phone died. No, she'd be on her landline. I'm talking to myself.
Hello.
Hey, sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
Oh, that was weird.
I have no idea.
That was weird.
But I definitely lost.
That was really weird. But anyways, what I was saying, Lena, before we got cut off was, the hardest thing about the twin flame relationship, one of them is the purging aspect of it. And that's why a lot of them like the chaser-runner aspect, runner-chaser-chaser-runner part of that relationship. It's because, being your best self, you've got to get rid of that baggage, get rid of the old, the old wounds and everything. And in order to do that, that's not an easy process. And your twin flame is that mirror.
Right.
And so they bring out that stuff in you, and it forces you. I mean, not that you don't have a choice, but you almost don't have a choice in, purging baggage and dealing with issues. Because like we said, a twin flame relationship is going to want to make you be a better person, and you're going to want them to be a better person too.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, it's and it's weird because like with twin flame relationship, like you don't see it coming and you are not looking for it. And when it happens, it doesn't matter if it's convenient or not. It happens, and the moment it happens, it's the most, I don't even know how to describe it. Like it's the most familiar person you've ever been around that you've never met before. That's how I would describe it.
And totally intense.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Yes. Yes. It's an intensity
So
that
the
you
other
can't
thing about
explain.
the other thing about twin flames is that it's eternal. Like no matter what, that stays with you forever. Like every lifetime, every single situation, they're there somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no doubt about that. I'm pretty sure I beheaded Jeremiah in another lifetime.
Well, if people want to, really get the best out of their readings, it really is important for them to focus on the spiritual growth aspect of it and walking their best journey.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was kind of my point, with talking about this tonight is like, I really want to see people, get the best possible reading they can. And if they're focusing on bettering themselves and being their better self and moving forward, they're going to find more happiness and more joy, and they're more likely to find that person who really, or attract that person who really is their counterpart.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Especially if it's someone who supports their spiritual growth. Like, to be honest, when I first started reading, Dave was totally not on board, not at all. And, I get it. I get why he wasn't. I went through my own battles with that and questioning whether this was the right path and whether it was what I was supposed to be doing. And there's still times I question, like, am I totally crazy? Is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? But honestly, I always seem to find the answer coming back the same. I'm drawn to do this for a reason, and he's watched me do it, and he's watched how I do it, and he doesn't disagree with it. He doesn't find the things that he thought would be bad. He doesn't see that.
Right.
And that's good, because that means I'm maybe doing something a little bit more right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. I think you phrased that perfectly, Lena. Like, yeah, it's, especially like with your guys' background and stuff like that, like the thought of being a reader is kind of like taboo. Like, wait, what? No. But in reality,
Right.
I mean, you have a gift, and, use it. And you're very, very, very proficient at your gift.
Yeah.
Gifts.
Well, and the big reminder is to everybody, like, we're just human like everybody else. Like, there was a time in my life where I was so lost, and I didn't know how to live life full and to find the little joys. And there's still times that I struggle with that. I struggled with depression and anxiety and addiction, and I went through so many things. And there was a time in my life when I was so down and so lost that I was, just praying that, God would kind of take me out and let me go. And instead, he lifted me up and he showed me a better path.
Mm-hmm.
And being a reader it saved my life. It saved me from being so lost that I was dragging people down with me too, because I was a mother and I had children, and at that point when I was in such a dark place, I wasn't a good mother. I wasn't doing the things I needed to do. And
Right.
I know that. And I can admit that. I can't say that I'm not sorry for that or that I'm not ashamed of that, but I got to be real about that.
Right.
Because it's part of who I was, and it made me who I am. And a lot of the things that I see in my readings and the readings, I noticed that Spirit draws people to me that are going through things that I've went through before. Mm-hmm. And that gives me an opportunity to testify to how Spirit lifted me and how I was able to find a better path. And I continue to learn every day. My life is not perfect. My life is not easy. And I don't expect it to be. But I do hope. And hope is a huge thing. And I think, just like this, the star today, or, the solstice, or, the new beginning of 2021, it's hope.
Yeah.
And it's something that we had all kind of lost. And 2020 kind of reminded us, hey, we need to wake up and look, and we have to find hope.
Right.
Yeah.
Because without it, what else do we have,
Yeah.
And I've always been a firm believer that all things are possible in faith, all things. And it even says that on my cards, like on my business cards. So, I keep telling myself that even if we can't see it, we have to believe that, that things are possible, because we have to have hope. We have to have something to look forward to. And because we can make our own destiny, because we can make our choices, because we have free will, we can do anything we set our minds to. We just have to find the way.
Right. And that's I think that is something that speaks to me more than just about anything else. And something that I want to help other people see as well, is that just like you said, we can do anything that we set our minds to. But and okay, how do I say this in English? Okay, so that saying, that it's kind of you say that, and people often take it as, just kind of a cliche saying, but they miss the bigger point of it. It's anything that we set our minds to, putting that free will factor back into it, and the accountability that comes along with that. It's because life. Life is often good. Sometimes it's not so good, and sometimes it just throws us complete shit sacks. But it's
well, we've got to keep in mind too, though, life has to have balance. So
yeah, absolutely. It's our response to everything that life throws at us is often not often. It always what determines the outcome. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Absolutely. We get out of it what we put in, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I totally believe that there is balance in everything. There has to be balance in everything, because if we did not experience the dark or the shadow or the negative stuff,
How could we recognize
we would
the
not
good?
be able to truly appreciate and recognize the great stuff.
Right. Exactly.
And so yeah, life isn't always
Hi,
going to
Dave.
be a big bowl of cherries or rainbows and puppies or whatever you want to call it, but it's definitely going to be everything that we put in, and everything we're willing to accept, and everything we're willing to change.
Right.
And I think a lot of times the really, really negative, shitty things that we go through, in fact, turns out to be most of the time the catalysts for the most growth, personal growth.
Yeah.
The good things too,
Absolutely.
but really when you're just handed a really shitty day or whatever, or
Right.
get whatever you go through, I feel like that's a lot of times where the real growth happens,
There's a principle that
and resolve and all the other things.
there's a principle that's common across almost every faith that I can think of, and that's the simple principle of like what we've been talking about, reaping what we sow. But not only that, taking it a step further and talking about that faithfulness in our reactions. It's like the Christian Bible talks about, to him that is faithful in the little things, much will be given. And there's other principles across other faiths that talk about the same thing. Just
Absolutely.
being faithful, being loyal, being a good steward of the small things is what gains you footing for greater things. And it's just like this whole COVID thing with the lockdowns and all that stuff. And okay, so I mean, it happened, and there's nothing that we can do about that. And the lockdowns are happening, and all of that stuff. And you can have your opinions on it, whatever you want, but what are you doing with it? Really and truly, what are you doing with it? Are you going to, take that as an opportunity to sit around and moan about it? Or are you going to take that as an opportunity to maybe, okay, let's focus on something else for a little bit. How about my family? How about we reestablish our family ties?
Right.
And strengthen
2020
that.
was about
And
new perspective.
what's that?
2020.
I said 2020 was about new perspective.
Yeah,
It was about finding priorities and learning about our priorities. And boy, I think they did that.
Right? I don't think
Yes.
any of us saw it coming exactly how that was going to happen. We all knew that was supposed to happen in 2020, but I don't think, well, I didn't anyway. I didn't see exactly how it was going to come about.
I don't know, Jeremiah, on Friday if you were watching the podcast, but we were talking about it's no longer going to be BC and AD. It's going to be.
I did see that.
It's going to be BC before COVID and AC after COVID.
Right?
So that kind of brings me back to the tips for the readings. Another thing that I feel like people really need to do is take good notes. If you want to record or check with your reader, of course, but if you're reading with me, absolutely you can record your session or take notes. That way you can remember what's being said, because a lot of times we have to put the information out there so fast, and there's so much of it. And so it helps you to be able to go back. And I'm all about journaling. If you can journal your notes and learn, it helps you on your journey. It really helps you find your better path. So that's truly, truly, important to, making your reading that much more for you. And always, if you can take a picture of your cards or, whatever, do that, because it's a reminder every day that you look at it of what the reading said. And, and the other thing is, like, really listen to the advice, not just what might be coming in the future, but the advice that comes from the reader, because a lot of times that's channeled and coming from a guide, even if the reader doesn't realize they're doing it.
Right. Hey, Lena, we're running out of time, but there is a viewer that has a question for you. They said, how do you find love again if you are scared to love that deeply again?
Well, one thing they have to do is, they have to get through the love that they had, go work through the grief stages, because a loss of love is just like the loss of a loved one. And if you work through those steps and you can regain your own strength and regain your trust and your love in yourself, you can learn to love someone else. You truly can.
I may have that person. There's quite the backstory there, so I may have that person reach out to you, if that's okay with you, Lena. I may send her some links to get a hold of you.
Absolutely. And actually tell her, since she was watching the show, if she reaches out to me, we'll let her be our free reading for the night. She can
have a
full 1 hour session with me.
Wow.
All right. There you go, Jennifer.
Jennifer, her name's Jennifer Green, by the way. Jennifer Scott Green, sorry. Mm-hmm. That's her name. Just so when somebody named Jennifer reaches out to you, that's who we're talking about. But I think that
tell her to mention that she had the question on the show about love.
Okay.
And we will I will mark her as a free full hour reading, and she can call me. You can send her my phone number, and she can call me to get scheduled, and then she'll call me probably at the same number just to get the reading. Okay?
Perfect. Oh, you're so amazing. So, the one thing I would say to her is you're never going to replace that deep of a love. And you know, you might move on and it's not ever going to be the same. But different isn't always bad. It's not taking that person's place. It's just different.
Yeah.
I don't remember. We talked about that one day.
Yeah.
And
Well, okay. So
you
this
phrased it really well.
This gets into a bit of a cheese factor, but they're one of my favorite Mel Gibson movies. It's one of the, I don't remember which one, but it's one of the Lethal Weapon movies, and it's when Joe Pesci is sitting there at the end of it, and they're talking about Joe Pesci's pet frog. And you know, Mel Gibson's character is having a huge struggle over losing his wife, and you know, he's faced with a choice of either, you know, moving on or, you know, hanging on to her for the rest of his life. And Joe Pesci made a comment to him that made him realize he doesn't necessarily have to do either or. It's more of a learning that new things are just new things. They're not replacements. They're just different, you know. And it's I would encourage anyone. I'm not going to butcher the movie quotes, but it's you know. Basically, you know, Joe Pesci has a pet frog that died, and he got a new pet frog, and it took him a long time to get used to it and get close to it. And then he realized one day he's not replacing Froggy, he's just different. He's not better, he's not worse, he's not a replacement, he's just different. You know,
Exactly.
and I know
You know,
that's a huge cheese factor, and I don't mean to minimalize anything or upset anyone with that.
It's a really good.
The basic truth of the matter is still there.
Yeah.
absolutely. And I'm a person who can absolutely tell you can love more than one person at a time. You can actually have, you know, relationships where you feel that strong bond and connection with more than one person at a time. And, you know, it doesn't mean that you love one any less than the other. You just love them different.
Right.
And, you know, even, you know, like, for example, a perfect example is my grandmother. She loved my grandfather, but after he passed, she found love different with someone else. It didn't make her love grandpa any less. It just was different. And she was happy. And happy is a good thing.
Yes. Absolutely.
And he loved her.
Hi, Becky.
And they actually, he also had a love before my grandmother, and they both often talked about their partners from before, and it was a beautiful thing that they shared together to be able to also honor the people that they loved before, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's neat.
Lena, you're not supposed to make me cry on the podcast.
I make at least one person cry every day. If I don't, I'm not doing my job.
Well, I think you did your job. Yeah, I'm sitting here like purposefully tuning you out, Lena, because I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna start to cry. I can't talk about this right now.
I know that. I'm just glad we still have shitty cameras, because otherwise everyone would see the fucking tears welling up in my eyes. So.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm going to be real with you. I'm a Libra, so Libras are all about love, and Libras are known to love many at one time. So, unfortunately, it's hard sometimes because we can love everybody or we can really, really hate everybody.
The choice is yours, right? Well, Lena, I hate to say it, but we're out of time, my dear. This has been wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on, and can't wait to see you again and talk to you again, which will probably be really soon. So, you know.
Well, I'm still checking about, let me look here real quick about January.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see about January. Because I know that you have to let Max know.
Right.
So it looks like I can't do January because I have a private party that weekend.
Okay.
Woo-woo.
Very cool.
But I will be there the weekend of February 27th and 28th. And like I said, if we can do Darkness Tavern on February 26th, that would be amazing because I'll already be there. I can be there live.
We will make it happen. We will make it happen.
Right? And then maybe, since we're switching over to March there, let me look at my March schedule because we might be able to do where we can stay an extra day if we can convince my hotel hookup. We might be able to we might be able to do Darkness Live on March 1st in person.
Woo woo.
Oh, very cool.
Bring it anytime.
If you
That would
guys
be
are up for
awesome.
that, and it's as soon as that.
Anytime.
So let me know, and maybe talk to our mutual friend who does the hookup for me, and we'll get it figured out.
Yeah.
Yes, we will.
Absolutely. That
you
sounds
and Dave,
awesome.
You and Dave are welcome anytime, anywhere, any other word that is pertaining to what we're
Any.
talking about.
Just any.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, and in the meantime, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Yule and Christmas holiday, a beautiful New Year. I'm looking forward to all the great things that are coming in the new year.
Me
And,
too.
Please, continue to support local business, and I appreciate all your all's continued support.
Oh, always.
Absolutely.
Blessings.
We
And
appreciate
Jennifer.
the same from you. I mean, we all have to scratch each other's backs. It's,
Yeah. Yes. Well, Lena,
Right?
many
Absolutely.
blessings to you and
And
your
Jennifer.
family.
Please have Jennifer reach out to me. We'll get her scheduled as soon as possible. It may have to be after Christmas, though, because I do have a full schedule until the day after Christmas.
okay.
Wow.
All right. I will send her links to your page and also that she can get a hold of you.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
All right.
Y'all have
Have
a
a
great
good
night.
night. Bye.
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 Man, it's just always so awesome to talk to her.
Oh, it was. I seriously was about to tear up when she was talking about
I know,
that, and I'm
right?
like, "Oh shit, we're live! I can't be crying live here! Oh God!" And then I'm like, "I wonder if Jeremiah is looking at me right now. Oh God!"
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
But yeah,
man.
it's she's amazing. She has been such an inspiration to me. For oh my God, what has it been? It's like 12 years now. Just amazing. I remember when she was, and I think it was like her first like public or semi-public appearance, and she was on another show that I did like 12 years ago, the Paradigm Project. And it was she had just then started offering paid readings, and it was of course I'm not gonna it'd take forever for me to tell the story of that. I'm not gonna get into that right now, but it was just, I mean, it's still one of my favorite stories to tell. When she read me live on the air. And it just, shit that she had no way of knowing.
See,
I had, that was the first time I had ever talked to her.
Oh, we love you too, Jennifer.
It was literally the first time I had ever talked to her.
And this
she
was-
knew
this
shit
was-
that she shouldn't have known.
This was skeptical Jeremiah.
Yes, yes.
This was, I don't think psychics are a thing,
Yes,
Jeremiah.
this was back when I was, completely closed off to my roots and my gifts and stuff like that. And it was, yes, it was. Ben was there. Ben was, he was on that show. Because me and Ben and Claire did that show together.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
You think there's still that episode out on the internet somewhere floating around?
What?
You think that episode is somewhere on the internet still floating around?
I'm sure it is somewhere. I know it's on that hard drive that's up there on that shelf. If I can ever get it to work enough to download it.
I've been hearing about this hard drive for 4 years.
But anyway,
I'm getting quite the anticipatory build here.
I know,
about
right,
this
right.
hard drive. All right, guys, we got to get off of here, but we love you all, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays,
Happy Yule.
Happy Yule, Happy, yeah. Other ones I'm failing miserably at remembering right now, but
I don't care what faith you observe as long as it helps you be a better person. Just do
there
what
you go.
do what
There
it
you
says. Do what it says to do to make you a better person, and we'll all get along fine, And you guys have just a wonderful whatever holiday you're celebrating. We are celebrating Yule.
yeah. And it starts today.
It does.
Whoa, sorry, I just blew my ears out. So
for the next 12 days.
I know,
So,
I'm excited about it. All right, people, have a good night, and we will be back next Monday night, and we will
Max.
see you. Well,
Max.
is coming on next Monday.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
I thought that's what you were trying to come up with.
It was.
Oh, okay.
Well, I panicked because I didn't want to say the wrong date because I couldn't remember what next Monday is.
Oh, gotcha.
And I'm
Yeah.
shit, I think that's Max, but I'm not 100% sure if that's the right date. But I know he's coming up. Yes, it is Max. Thank you for the confirmation.
All right, guys. If you enjoyed this, please like the page,
Good night, Captain Carl.
like the video, share the video, help us get the word out about this crazy
And
thing we're
Cindy.
doing. And, I will... of course, we're having a little trouble with our YouTube channel right now, but I will get it's not going out live for some reason, but I will get the link posted. Please
night,
consider stopping by and liking the YouTube channel, the Twitch channel. Yeah, we've got it all. So just
Yeah, we'll see you next Monday.
we appreciate you, we love you, and we'll see you next Monday. In the meantime, keep shaking hands with the shadows.
Yes. Bye.
And that was very anticlimactic. There we go.